Did you know that ancient Egypt had a mysterious trading partner known as the Land of Punt, believed by many historians to be located in what is now Somalia? A place shrouded in mystery and intrigue, the Land of Punt was a significant part of the ancient world's commercial landscape. This unseen land was a vital trading partner for the Egyptian pharaohs. The Egyptians had a strong and flourishing relationship with the Land of Punt, which dates as far back as the Old Kingdom period, around 4,500 years ago. This relationship was not just based on trade, but also on mutual respect and admiration. The Land of Punt was often referred to as God's land by the Egyptians, indicating its high regard. The Land of Punt was a veritable treasure trove, abundant in gold, ebony, and other precious materials. The Egyptians, known for their love of luxury and opulence, frequently made trade expeditions to this far-off land. The Land of Punt offered gold, a metal highly coveted by the ancient Egyptians for its beauty and symbolic significance. But it wasn't just gold that the Land of Punt offered. It was also a source of ebony, a dark, dense wood that was used in the construction of furniture, statues, and various other artifacts. And let's not forget the exotic creatures that the Land of Punt was home to. The Egyptians were known to bring back exotic animals from Punt, including giraffes, baboons, and leopards. These creatures were often depicted in Egyptian art, symbolizing the close connection between these two ancient civilizations. The Land of Punt was not just a trading post, but a place of cultural exchange and mutual respect. It was an early representation of the prosperous and interconnected world that existed before the advent of European colonialism. The Land of Punt, an early representation of pre-European Somalia, was a prosperous and important hub of trade in the ancient world. It was a place where cultures intersected and commerce thrived, playing a significant role in shaping the world as we know it today. Fast forward a few centuries, and we find a network of thriving city-states along the Somali coast. A city-state, for those not in the know, is a sovereign city that governs itself and the surrounding territory. In this case, these city-states were bustling hubs of commerce and culture, uniquely positioned along the Indian Ocean trade routes. With the rise of these city-states, Somalia became an integral part of the Indian Ocean trade network. Its strategic location bridged the gap between the cultures and economies of the Far East, the Middle East, and Africa. This was a time when maritime trade was the lifeblood of civilizations, and the Somali city-states were right in the thick of it. The city-states weren't just economic powerhouses, they were melting pots of cultural exchange. Goods weren't the only things being traded along these routes. Ideas, religions, and cultural practices flowed freely between the seafaring merchants. This exchange led to a rich tapestry of culture in the Somali city-states, with influences stretching from China to Persia to the African interior. But what about the wealth that this trade brought? Well, it was nothing short of impressive. Ivory, gold, frankincense, and myrrh flowed through the bustling markets of these city-states, leading to an unprecedented accumulation of wealth. This wealth wasn't just used for ostentatious displays of power or hoarded by the ruling class. Instead, it was reinvested into the city-states, funding advancements in architecture, arts, and education. These city-states were more than just trading posts. They were centers of learning, innovation, and cultural exchange. They were the birthplaces of some of the world's earliest known written scripts, such as the ancient Somali script, which was used for recording poetry, genealogies, and contracts. This wasn't a fleeting era of prosperity. The legacy of these city-states endured, shaping the region for centuries to come. They laid the foundations for what would become the sophisticated and wealthy Somali sultanates. These city-states were the precursors to the sophisticated and wealthy Somali sultanates that would later emerge. From the 13th to the 17th century, several powerful Somali sultanates rose to prominence, leaving an indelible mark on the region. These were not just political entities, but also cultural and economic powerhouses that left a lasting impact on the Horn of Africa. Let's start with the Ajuran Sultanate, a formidable hydrological civilization renowned for its sophisticated irrigation systems, stone architecture, and of course, its military might. This sultanate was a beacon of political stability, efficient governance, and economic prosperity. Its strategic location along the Indian Ocean connected it with the broader world, facilitating flourishing trade networks that stretched from the Middle East to as far as China. Then we have the Adal Sultanate, a multi-ethnic state that played a significant role in the spread of Islam and the Arabic language in the region. Known for its impressive military organization and architectural achievements, the Adal Sultanate was an influential player in the politics of the Horn of Africa, frequently clashing with the Christian Ethiopian Empire. The Wasangali Sultanate, another notable entity, was a trading empire with a powerful navy that protected its commercial interests and maintained security along the Gulf of Aden. The Sultanate was also known for its elaborate legal and administrative structures, reflecting a high degree of political sophistication. Lastly, we cannot forget the Geledi Sultanate, a riverine state that thrived on agriculture and trade. This sultanate was known for its egalitarian society and its emphasis on social justice. The Geledi were also famed for their artistic contributions, particularly in the form of vibrant textiles and intricate woodwork. These Somali sultanates were not just isolated political entities. They were interconnected, often sharing knowledge, resources, and cultural practices, even amidst their rivalries. They were important players in international trade, their influence extending far beyond their geographical boundaries. The Somali sultanates were a testament to the region's political sophistication and economic prosperity before European intervention. Their legacy continues to resonate in the cultural, social, and political life of modern Somalia, testifying to a rich history that predates the colonial era. But pre-European Somalia was not just about trade and politics, it was a melting pot of cultural and religious ideas. The cultural evolution of Somalia took a significant turn with the arrival of Islam in the 7th century. Traders and scholars from the Arabian Peninsula brought with them the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. This was a time when Somalia was not a unified nation, but a collection of powerful city-states and sultanates. These city-states, thriving on trade and commerce, saw the value in the new religion and its potential for unity and governance. The introduction of Islam was not a sudden or forceful event. Instead, it was a gradual process, assimilated into the fabric of Somali society over centuries. The religion was not just adopted for spiritual solace, but also for its legal and administrative framework. The Islamic legal system, known as Sharia, provided a structure for governance that was more organized and systematic than traditional Somali customs. This led to a societal shift, with law and governance increasingly influenced by Islamic principles. Islam's influence on Somali culture was profound. The Arabic script was adopted for the Somali language, enhancing literacy and communication. Islamic learning centers and mosques became focal points of city life. The religion also influenced Somali art and architecture, with the construction of grand mosques and the creation of intricate Islamic calligraphy. Moreover, the Islamic concept of Ummah, or global Muslim community, fostered a sense of unity among Somalis. This sense of shared identity transcended clan and regional divisions, contributing to a sense of national identity that would later play a significant role in the formation of a unified Somali state. Religious festivals like Ramadan and Eid became integral parts of Somali culture, bringing people together in celebration and prayer. These traditions continue to this day, a testament to the enduring influence of Islam on Somali society. Islam's arrival in Somalia was a significant turning point, deeply influencing the region's cultural and societal norms. As we will see in our next segment, the impact of pre-European Somalia extends far beyond the borders of the region, shaping aspects of the world as we know it today. The legacy of pre-European Somalia is still very much alive today. This East African nation, with its rich pre-colonial history, has left an indelible mark on the world that we can't ignore. Let's start with the Somali coast. This was a key player in the ancient world's trade networks, a hub where goods from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East converged. Today, it remains a vital artery of international trade, with ships sailing through its waters carrying goods to and from Africa, Europe, and Asia. The Somali coast's strategic importance has endured through the millennia, making it a focal point in global economic dynamics. Now let's turn to the cultural sphere. Somali culture, steeped in the traditions of the pre-European era, continues to thrive. The oral storytelling tradition, for example, is a significant part of Somali culture. This love for the spoken word, has given rise to a rich body of literature and poetry that has been passed down through generations. The nomadic lifestyle, too, remains prevalent in Somali society, with many Somalis still leading a life closely tied to the land and the sea. And then there's the resilience of the Somali people. This is a trait that has its roots in the pre-European era, when Somalis had to contend with a harsh environment and a complex web of social and political dynamics. Today, this resilience is evident in the way Somalis navigate the challenges of the modern world. Despite the hardships they face, the spirit of the Somali people remains unbroken. So you see, the impact of pre-European Somalia is far-reaching. It's not just about the past, it's about the present and the future too. The pre-European era has shaped Somali society in ways that continue to resonate today, influencing everything from economic activities to cultural practices. The history of pre-European Somalia continues to shape the country's present and will undoubtedly influence its future. As we delve into the history of pre-European Somalia, it becomes evident that it was a region of great prosperity and cultural richness. It's a narrative that unfolds like an intricate tapestry, woven with threads of trade, culture, religion, and power. The ancient land of Punt, with its wealth of natural resources, was a beacon of prosperity. This, coupled with the rise of city-states, set the stage for an era of great influence and growth. The Somali sultanates, with their strategic control over trade routes, left an indelible mark on the region, influencing not only their immediate surroundings, but also the broader world. The cultural and religious evolution of Somalia is a testament to its diversity and adaptability. The intermingling of indigenous beliefs with those brought by traders and travelers gave rise to a unique cultural blend, one that still resonates in the Somalia of today. The impact of pre-European Somalia on today's world is immense. Its strategic location and cultural richness continue to shape the geopolitical and socio-economic landscape. It's a testament to the resilience and strength of the Somali people as they continue to navigate their way through the challenges of the modern world. Reflecting on this history, we begin to understand the complexity of the region. It's a story not often told, but one that deserves our attention and respect. It reminds us that the present is deeply rooted in the past, and that by acknowledging and understanding this past, we can gain valuable insights into the present. This understanding gives us a new perspective on Somalia. It allows us to see the country not just as it is today, but as it was, a land of prosperity, influence, and cultural richness. And it gives us hope for what it can become, a nation that draws from its vibrant past to shape its future. By understanding Somalia's vibrant past, we gain a greater appreciation for its present and see the potential for an even brighter future.